Hello, this is Nadia Gilks from Nadia Presents, and I am here today with 5 simple tips that you can use to showcase yourself in the very best light when you are making online presentations. Now, we are depending on technology a lot more these days, and sometimes things happen in the moment that are absolutely beyond your control. And there's nothing you can do about that but minimize the damage as soon as you can and carry on. But there are things that you can do before you even start your presentation that will help to minimize distractions and make sure that you are showcased in the best possible light. The first thing that I'm going to recommend is that you turn Siri off, or Alexa, or any other personal management tool that you use that often talks back to you. I've seen Siri pop up in several presentations, and from an observer standpoint, it's always entertaining, but normally not what the presenter is going for. And it is a distraction and often really throws people off their game. I've seen it happen normally when people are saying the word serious or something else that engages Siri, and once she's on, sometimes she can be really hard to turn off. So just go ahead and disengage that before your presentation so that you don't have that distraction in the middle of your PowerPoint or whatever it is that you're displaying. While you're disengaging Siri, turn your other notifications off as well. And those notifications can be alerts that happen when there's a new news story, or you're getting an email, or you're getting a text message. Whether you're on your iPhone, your tablet, or your computer, you can always put those devices either in airplane mode or do not disturb, and that will keep them from popping up when you are in the middle of your presentation. You don't want people wondering what's going on. Is there an emergency that you need to tend to? Are you running a call center behind the scenes? Sometimes the notifications get really distracting, and again, that takes away from your message. So those 2 things are really easy fixes that can help keep the focus on you and not whatever's going on behind the scenes. The next tip is to close any unnecessary applications. And this is just to help you preserve as much memory as you can so that you have a great audio and visual experience for your listeners. You don't want anything taking away from your memory and making your computer start to run slow or distorting your sound. So go ahead and turn off the email. Make sure that the internet is off if you don't need that behind the scenes. Anything that you're not going to be using, just make sure that it is all completely turned off or quit. What I normally do is restart my computer completely so that I can be sure that nothing is running in the background except the applications that I've opened right before my presentation starts. And you want to have whatever you are using at the ready. So if it's Keynote or PowerPoint, or if you are playing a little movie, or if you're going to use a YouTube link, make sure that whatever you are going to use is pulled up and ready to go so you're not fumbling and trying to get those things ready in the middle of your presentation. I also take it a step further, and I'll often refresh my Wi-Fi connection. I'll turn it off and power it back on so that I have a fresh, strong connection for my internet. And if it's a huge presentation, I might even hardwire my computer. Now, some people think I'm crazy for doing all that, but you really don't want those preventable mishaps to happen in the middle of what could be one of the biggest presentations of your career. So just make sure your connection is strong, you have a lot of memory available on your computer, and you are ready to go, and you won't be disconnected from your meeting in the middle of your presentation. Download the latest version of whatever video conferencing app you're using. That could be Zoom, Cisco WebEx, BlueJeans, whatever it is you're using. Make sure that you do have that latest version because there's often features that have been added that might be very useful to you. For instance, in Zoom, you can now spotlight up to 9 people. So you can have 9 people center stage during your presentation if need be. And that's just a nice visual for your audience to make sure that they are paying attention to the people who are speaking. Maybe it's a panel discussion or a roundtable discussion. You can spotlight the key players in your presentation. As an observer, you can now multi-pin, which is another good feature. Maybe you, as the listener, want to pin certain people on the screen to just focus on them. And then, of course, we all have had security issues that have probably happened by now. And sometimes those updates can fix or minimize some of those security issues. So make sure you are using the latest version of whatever your platform is, just to make sure that you're up to date on the features and the security. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you practice. If you did download anything, you want to make sure that you know how it works. So go in and practice with any newly installed software before your presentation. For instance, what's happened to me twice already is that the new Zoom update isn't working that well with my virtual webcam. If you depend on virtual web cameras, that could be a huge issue for you in the middle of a presentation. So you just want to make sure that you can work out any kinks before your big day. And it could be as simple as uninstalling and reinstalling software. You might have to completely pivot and find another way to present your material, but you certainly want to figure that out before you are center stage. So just make sure you go in and play with whatever you just downloaded to make sure you know how it works. If you can't log into your meeting early, sign in on your own account and just play around with those features just to be sure. You can never over practice, especially where technology is concerned. These are 5 simple tips that will help showcase you in the very best light so that your presentation is seamless and flawless. Please like, share, and subscribe this video, and be sure to send it to others that may need these tips. Thank you.